Hello and welcome back to Let's Race Jack 3. In the last episode we did we essentially chose one half of the split road that you have in Act 1, we did the Damus side of the missions, and then we managed to fly using the glider all the way here to the volcano, and we are ready to start the volcano side. We've got a mission in the volcano, and then we've got the Monk Temple, and there is a small chance that we might be able to finish Act 1 today and get into Haven City, potentially. We obviously have 29 minutes, 23 seconds, we cut off the 37 seconds that we went over in the last episode, and we are ready to start this next episode. We won't know whether we're ahead of Teal and SacComms until the levels straighten themselves out, and essentially we start getting, missions where, until the path becomes linear again, once we both finish both sides of the missions. I think I'm slightly ahead, but it's difficult to tell at the moment. So we are here, and we are going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go! Okay. So, like I said at the start of the last episode, the volcano is a really enjoyable mission. I really, So, we're going to start off with some slingers around here. Come on. Yeah, how slow scattergun fires at the start of this game. So, you can essentially climb up here, and then you've got this leaper lizard, which is going to run away from us. So we also see these, I don't know what they're called actually, those guys. Anyway, we don't want these guys to bother us. Essentially, so what you got to do is you got to catch up to the lizard and then try and ride it, like that. And then you can follow the path round where essentially we've got to avoid these giant lava balls that sort of appear. Unfortunately, we can't make the jump up to the next platform, and we have to wait for it to sink down. There we go, lovely. Some more ammo. Lovely, so that's the leaper lizard section done. We can get off, climb this ladder. And the other really nice thing about this chapter is that we get the first bit where Dax actually gets his own little sections.
Wait here, I'll be back.
So Daxter gets to show us why he's the best teammate. We do get burnt there. We should be okay. Daxter controls just like Jack. He's got double jump. He's got a spin attack. He's got another attack, very similar. Ow! So you've just got to make your way over to here, and then climb back on. Zip by, and then you reach here for another short cutscene. I do love the way he sort of just pokes his head up there, like, did I do that? Anyway. Come on! Okay, for some reason I wasn't able to climb up there, but anyway. So the beam reflexor is a really useful weapon throughout the entirety of this section, really. Its ability to sort of zip around and guarantee you that you hit most of the metalheads that pop up and around here. Roll across. Lovely. Come down to here, and a second Dexter section.
Do I have to do everything?
So now this little tube can be a little annoying at times. It's not always clear whether you'll make the jumps. But all you've got to do is just follow it around. Ah, really? What? See? Like, there. Why did I die there? Tell me, give me one good reason why I died there. But anyway. Just zip around. Land on this one. Over. And then all we've got to do is we're going to have some little sort of tarpaulin which use of trampolines. Much like sort of the small section that you had when you're being chased by the spider in Jack 2, where you have to use the sort of springs to. There we go, and cutscene once more.
You miss me?
So obviously we need the rock to act as a platform, so we can get up here. So essentially, you know, most of this area just involves pushing these rocks over these geysers to create platforms. That one always pushes you off for some reason, but you can get back on. Climb up here. And then you just need to jump to the ladder to get to the end of the level.
Looks like I didn't agree with you.
Don't touch it, Dexter. Who knows what more dark ego would do to you?
Look at me, Jack. I'm short, I'm hairy, and I itch in strange places. I couldn't do worse. Relax. I know what I'm doing. Oh, yuck! Cold, clammy, dead hand. Oh, I can't look. Look out, Dexter! Jack? Jack? Where are you, buddy?
It's a dark power, Dax. Some kind of invisibility.
Yeah, well, cut it out. If you moved that fast a long time ago, I'd still be wearing pants. You know what I really miss? Soft underpants. You know how it lifts and cradles? You wouldn't understand. We're out of here.
And so Dax continues his long love story with pants. So anyway, that is the volcano done, pretty much. We now obviously have a new Dark Jack power to go along with Dark Bomb, and you also know Dark Blast, which is essentially if you uppercut as Dark Jack. That is one that's essentially already written in for you. It's nice. This corridor's a great place if you just want to like waste. I mean, if you have the ammo to waste, it's a great sort of beam reflector point just for fun. But anyway. So yeah, so Dark Jack invisibility. Essentially, the way it works is Jack can now interact with these statues. Doing so makes him invisible, and that's particularly useful in this section where obviously we've got these eyes, which are blocking certain paths. Indeed, they're the only way we can actually enter the Monk Temple. Makes you wonder how how the monks actually get inside the monk temple, but anyway. So we can head through here. The eye no longer can see me, and so we can move into this next section. So we get some spiders that we haven't seen in a while, much like the ones that were in Mars 2. So we get some, these vents essentially give you max of either dark or, as you obviously, light eco. That's essentially just like little hints as to what on earth you're meant to do in this section. Both that and the red ammo that we get. But I much prefer to just destroy the guns like that. Essentially, if they spot you, the guns will kill, will just shoot you and that will immediately knock you out. What you're meant to do is use the invisibility power to essentially... You use the invisibility power to essentially avoid them seeing you, get into the middle, and then you can either use the wave concussor at maximum, or you can use the dark blast and dark bomb, and they would both take out all of those guns as they face away from you. So this next section is again just using the statues to avoid these eyes from spotting you. Oh dear, I definitely did not deserve to. When in doubt, just go for a spin and hope. That's 3, last one. Get through there. Now we've got to. We're going to have a huge amount of spiders. Which we can help take out, and then you'll reach here, and we reach the end of this. Well, not quite the end.
You told me this could be done. Now make it so.
But we have so little time. The daystar approaches.
You know what it brings.
Unfortunate, yes.
We'll deal with that as soon as I have full access to the catacombs.
Just continue your work, and I will follow those idiots in Haven. I promise you will meet your papers. Why are the catacombs so important?
So, what we can do around here is just find that precursor orb. There are quite a few precursor orbs inside the monk temple.
Hey, it's one of those goober-eyed precursor things.
Greetings, great warrior. Your return brings us great hope. This planet's future is at a critical juncture. The Dark Ones have found your world again, and fate hangs in the balance.
The past and the future collide. Do you have any idea what he just said? Speak out the normal language, okay?
You will need all the power you can muster to survive this terrible test, Great One.
I can handle it.
I was talking
To the tall one, Shorty.
Hey!
Look into the light and receive a power hero.
Okay, now you're scaring me.
That, the dark eco, it feels far away. I feel better.
So we get our first Light Jack power, Light Jack regeneration, which essentially allows you to regenerate health, as its name suggests. That's the end of
I'm glad you're still alive.
the temple.
Thank goodness for keeps tabs on his old beacons. Listen, I've got to see you immediately. I'm going to get up by the Oasis, but I don't have much time. Please come find me.
So, there we go, we have Ashlyn now wanting to come and see us. And essentially this is why we keep the Dune Hopper, because what the Dune Hopper does... So obviously if we were doing these missions the other way around, what would happen is that after this we would need to make our way back to Spargus, then talk to Deimos, do the 4 missions there, and then what you'd need to do is, after the SIG mission, you would then you need to grab the dune hopper and drive all the way over to where Ashlyn is at the Oasis. Or at least you'd certainly need. I would advise you use the dune hopper. This way, what we can actually do is we can actually take the dune hopper from the monk temple and actually go straight to Ashlyn using it. And then we can actually, once the Ashlyn mission is finished, the next place we actually have to go is back to the temple. So therefore, we already have the dune hopper ready in order to do that. Now this next mission is a bit of a pain. It's not too bad, but can be a bit of a pain. It's certainly the hardest bit of combat that we've had so far in the game. Come on, let me drive. Don't fall in the water. Please don't fall in the water. Thank you. That was a bit worrying. So this is the Oasis, obviously. This is where we saw the dead Wastelander who was holding the Dark Eco Crystal. And we'll come over here and we'll talk to Ashlyn. I did not unfreeze the timer, so I'll have to work out how much time that we spent just doing that off screen, unfortunately. But there we go.
Hey, baby, you thought you dumped me, huh? I knew you'd be back for some more orange and nothing. Get a good look. It's the last time we get to see you.
Ashley, what are you doing here?
Jack, it's good to see you.
Listen, Toots, you left us in the desert, so talk to the tank. Because the whiskers ain't with you. We like you.
That bacon you gave me. Thanks.
I knew James would find you. He doesn't miss much in this desert.
How do you know him?
It doesn't matter now. Jack, I need you to come back to the city. We're losing the fight. Vigor is drunk on power and he's taking command. He doesn't understand what he's up against. I need you.
Look out!
I like how those marauders just, randomly managed to get to... So, the reason this level's a bit of a mess is because you have to take on vehicles when you're not in a vehicle. And essentially the game doesn't usually force this on you. But this is one point in the game where it does. And it's not particularly nice for doing so. But thankfully we do now have access to Lightjack regeneration, which means that when you're low on health, like I am right now, we can actually regenerate all of our health back nice and cleanly. Whereas obviously you've got to be sure to collect all of the light eco that you see that is dropped by these guys. As you can, I didn't mean to do that. It's dangerous to use Darkjack because I believe Darkjack abilities can hurt Ashlyn, and obviously that's not something we want to do. Essentially, the main thing here is either not to die and not let Ashlyn get too hurt, but generally Ashlyn's pretty tough. She can handle a lot of hits. Where's the counter gone? Is that it? No, let's do it more. Ow! Yeah, those suicide vehicles that sort of just sprint and run at you are the most annoying.
You're wanting me to give you this. Jack, your friends need you. I need you.
The city threw me out, remember? They can rock for all I care.
But what about your...
Forget it! Just leave. I do.
So the hero and you did die in the desert? Or was it long before that? Don't you remember who you are?
I'm through to save the world.
So there, we get the jetboard, which is obviously rather handy, and we're going to be able to use it as we head back to the temple. Not quite sure why we head back to the temple, but we just head back to the temple. So obviously good to get through that mission. Yeah, like I said, taking on vehicles when you're on foot is never a fun thing in these games, and that is really, I think that's pretty much the only mission that they actually force you to do that in this game. It's as you can see, I was obviously forced to use light jack regeneration there. I think it's more in line just because I'm pretty sure, I was aware of using dark jack powers, because I've known in previous Jack 2, like in Jack 2 and stuff like that, if you use dark jack around friendly characters, then they can be hurt by his abilities, like dark bomb and stuff like that. Which is obviously not something you really want to happen. So anyway, we make our way back to the temple, make our way through all the jumps. And then essentially what we have is a long level, which is a long jetboard training section. So, just getting back on the jetboard and remembering how all that goes. Wrong one. It's that one, there we go. So you essentially just head down the path that we've already been through, and what you want to do is we do have some enemies down here, but not too much of a threat. You should just be able to run away from them. You just want to find the door with the Seal of Mar on it, or this one here, essentially.
I'll get somewhere.
That's the ticket.
I think these are just skull gems, but just to be sure. Because there may well be, progress orbs. So obviously it's just a matter of collecting all these symbols. That was a good start. There we go. And essentially it's just like, getting you just a way of teaching you the jetboard ropes once more. There are 2 paths up the side that you need to take. One of them and this is the other. Just make sure you hit them all on the way, and then you're done. And then all you've got to do is hit the last one, which I believe requires a high jump. Yeah, there you go. So doing all that unlocks the door. They want you to dismount for this section, but you really don't need to. As we will come here to collect our second light jack power. So you get them very fast if you do them in this order. Slow. A couple of skull gems, I think. A couple of curse rolls and another cutscene.
meet again, great warrior, but sadly your coming may be too late. You will soon meet the seed of our downfall. It approaches quickly, and I fear we no longer have the power to resist. Behold, the pure power of light. We offer what little we have in this dire moment.
So we get light jet flash freeze. So essentially this is a way of slowing down time. Oh man. It's bad just when I didn't need it to. So there we go. Cool. So obviously, this is your second light jet power. Essentially, it's all about freezing time. You're kidding me. Okay, so you can't fall down there. That's new. I did not know that. For some reason, he wasn't grinding. So yeah. So 2 random deaths in the temple. Okay, so yeah, so more like, so obviously this is, you can see that the flash freeze does take out a significant chunk of your light eco. I must say, these sections where you're making your way over these rotating things can be pretty annoying. Very easy to fall down here. Okay, that'll do. There we go, lovely, so that's that. And you've got this lovely section where essentially the ground, if you can't tell, this bridge is obviously going to collapse. But using a light jet flash freeze, we can make our way across. Oh man, I've got to unpause again. Trapped. I definitely need to get better at unpausing. So that's twice in this episode alone that we haven't unpaused. So I will be sure to work out exactly how much we missed.
It looks just like the catacombs we saw in Haven City. Where did they go?
There you are. Oh, I'm so squatty happy I found you. What? Jack got a silver, and the fountain is yours. Oden says we must get back to Haven City. She says the catacombs are the key to the planet's very survival.
You boys up for a ride?
So we're now in this little mini game, this little mini section where essentially you ride in this little cart as you fly down these catacombs. So obviously the aims here are don't hit the various obstacles in the way. Some are obviously destructible like these. Those little red things that you see that start following us, they essentially shoot lasers at us and just a general nuisance. So it's always important to get rid of them first. This is a nice, very short little level, so that is that done. It's going to explode. A cutscene.
You show promise, but your bravery will not protect you from the foes you must soon face. Use this light power to help in your quest. It is what little we have left to offer.
I do like how Daxter goes and, like, puts his hands together. Anyway, so there you go. We got our third light power. So we now have regeneration, flash freeze, and shield. As we take this fifth turn. So we reach the start of the next area. We also get fresh light deck, ammo, and then I'm gonna get another cutscene just here. And I didn't. Pause again.
It looks like some kind of eco pod. When more of the payments, you must have carved out these old games to get eco power.
That blonde guy must have never slept much.
I'm going to hit the owner in the back. Watch your tail, Jack.
So here we are in the eco mine. And you see that we get a few enemies, those manta ray like things that just sort of fly around. We also get these little lizards that climb on the wall, so essentially trouble if you let them. The manta rays aren't really too much of an issue at all. I only call them manta rays because they're like, they sort of look like. So you can see over there, you can see a lizard on the wall. Essentially what they do is that they sort of scuffle around in their advanced positions and they shoot some form of like internal laser at you, I guess. Some sort of projectile they fire and just to dodge it. But it's really nothing too worried about. We see grunts! Oh, we haven't seen grunts in ages. Obviously, a metal head type we saw in Jack 2. The beam reflector really makes this whole section very simple. So we continue to make our way around. Lovely. So obviously, you get quite a lot of yellow ammo around this level, which is really useful. So obviously it's the weapon that I use the most, and the one I would say is likely the best in this area. Where are we now? Ah, yes. This next little area is a little different essentially. Once you take out all of the nearby enemies, one of these orange rats will appear from these pipes, and you need to push them into the hamster wheels to generate various platforms and stuff like that. still jump to it can be a little dangerous if you're not too careful. Just make sure that you're jumping, you know, in the direction. You're never jumping towards a platform that's moving away from you. It's really not that hard. There we go. Lovely. Come on. So they obviously do hurt you if you're not careful. So now all we need to do, for this one, you just need to lure him up these ramps. To get about hamster wheel. And this is the last one we need to do. Come on. There we go, lovely. Get that health, and we'll be able to continue onwards and grab some more armor. So we've reached the leg armor, and now we reached the next section of this eco-mine area. So essentially what's now going to happen is that this sort of minecart full of explosives is going to make a path through, it's going to trace a path through the mine, and we will essentially ensure that it gets to the end. And the way you do that is essentially, there are a bunch of bits of track around which are not necessarily in the correct positions. And you just need to essentially shoot the various track targets to ensure that so you can see the red sign over there means it's not prepared. There it is now. It is good. Go. Ah, I did not realise that was a ledge. I thought I was dead, but there we go. It's all good. So the nice thing about the beam reflector is that the beam reflector will occasionally just hit targets from miles away because, you know, these rebounding bullets are amazing. And you can usually be pretty sure that you're not actually going to miss any targets using it as well. So as you can see, we've got over a minute in time. And once you shoot the final target, you automatically get brought to the end of this section, I believe. There's one of them. There we go, lovely. So obviously I should have paused through that one, but it doesn't matter. It's a very short cutscene anyway, so I doubt it's added much to my time. So we're going to be able to get through here and reach the end of this mission, and then we're going to hit a long cutscene. And a familiar face.
The monks told me you were coming to the precursor subrails. Interesting, aren't they? The precursors used them to build the world countless eons ago. The rail system leads deep into the planet. It's said the ancient ones wait to bestow unimaginable powers upon the worthy. I will save the world with that power, just as Ma did.
Yeah, you've done a great job so far, letting the metalheads destroy the palace.
No, you couldn't be more mistaken, dear boy. We're on a time clock, Jack. That light in the sky, do you know what it is? Our nightmare has found us, and the end is coming. I needed quick access to the catacombs below, so I attacked the palace myself. It will be our little secret.
Well, you're full of surprises.
And you're full of dark ego. You little rat are an abomination. But I will rid the planet of this scourge soon enough. Pure light will rule the universe, and I will be the bright light that shines to every corner of the world and destroys all shadows.
Excuse me, Count Vulgar.
It's Vega.
Yeah, whatever. Isn't it kind of nice just to curl up in the shade sometimes? Just chilling it, watching the hot babes prance around in their skimpy little bikinis. You know, just how they jiggle. I get that special tingling feeling in my tail.
Enough! We will stop the cleansing of the world with your demise. Behold, I now command the very power of the Ancient One. And this time, the precursors will not have mercy on you.
So, we've got to take out this lovely precursor robot to finish off Act 1, and we will do so. I know that, obviously, the time is not correct. I have missed pausing the timer at many points, but I'll make sure that it's correct by the time we look. So essentially, the way this boss works is... Ow. Has 3 stages. There we go, finally. Good lord. I'm not going to pause for those cutscenes, even though obviously they do add time to my time. So yeah, so essentially you've got the slamming down of that, and then you've got the introduction of these enemies, who are essentially very annoying. It's much easier if you can shoot them off the edge, essentially. I'm just going to heal up here. And then he uses his lasers to essentially create various platforms on the ground. Which you then use to climb up. Ah, okay. Twice. And then you shoot down the various minecarts to crush the robot. And now he's super angry. Lovely. So there we go, those guys are down, and now, last one. There we go, down he goes.
Let's go topside and see what kind of trouble we can get into.
So there we have it, the end of this episode of my Let's Race of Jack 3. We get the Arc Wielder, which is obviously the second weapon on our Vulcan Fury slot. Essentially it fires a nice electrical stream, rather cool weapon. Now, obviously this has been a bit messy in terms of me not getting the right timing right. I will ensure that for the next episode that everything is sorted and that we have all the timings correct, ready for that, because you know, it's just it's clumsy, and I apologise. So we'll work out where on earth we stand. I imagine it'll probably be closer to 35, 36 minutes. So it was just a couple of cutscenes. Sorry, no, it wasn't a couple of cutscenes. There was a couple of gameplay areas where I forgot to unfreeze the timer. So yeah. Unfortunate, but we shall see. I'll have sorted that out by the next episode. Hopefully it will be a lot better. We have finished Act 1, which is really, really good. I'm really happy about that. And in the next episode, we will be starting Act 2, returning to Haven, and yeah, having all seeing what, as Jack says there, seeing what sort of trouble they can get into. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope you will join me on the next